The average person's brain is only 7% developed. Einstein's brain was developed by 10%. What would it be like if the brain was 100% developed? Lucy is just a normal girl. She walks into a hotel with a suitcase after being tricked by her boyfriend. She has to deliver the case to her employer. And the task is as simple as that. But the employer is extremely cautious. He sends his men to get the case and shoots her boyfriend, who is waiting at the door. Then they drag Lucy into the lift. Lucy also senses that this is no ordinary transaction. She is taken to the hotel suite. The mob boss comes out of the bathroom. Looking closely, there were still bodies on the floor that hadn't been cleaned up. Lucy is scared out of her wits. She kept begging the mob boss to leave her alone. A normal person would be devastated by such a thing. The mob boss didn't say anything. He wrote down 3 numbers on a piece of paper. Then he turned, walked out of the room, and hid behind the door. His men grabbed their riot shields and prepared for the danger. You don't have to think about it to know that the box must contain dangerous items. Faced with a threat to her life, Lucy agreed to open the box. When she opened the box with a shudder, she was greeted by 4 packets of blue rice. At this point, the mob boss's men brought in a man to test the composition of the blue rice. Men are immediately aroused after inhaling. The mob boss shoots him right in front of Lucy. In a matter of minutes, Lucy experienced the darkest moment of her life. She fades into unconsciousness. When she woke up again, she found herself in a strange room. Her stomach is still covered in blood. The mob boss's men take her to the lobby. 3 other men have suffered the same fate as her. Mob boss threatened their families. He ordered them to take the blue rice in their bellies to 4 places. When the mission is complete, they will be set free. They also receive a substantial commission. Lucy was then taken to a small dark room to wait. The tattooed man saw Lucy and was attracted to her, but Lucy was very resistant. The tattooed man then pinned Lucy to the ground and kicked her in the stomach. The man dragged him out of the room, fearing someone would die. The uninformed men didn't know what was inside Lucy's stomach. After the violent beating, the packaging inside Lucy's body ruptured. The blue rice flowed into all corners of her body, along with the blood. Even her eyes had turned blue. Lucy was lying on the floor in pain and twitching. As more and more blue rice flowed into her body, Lucy's body began to lose its gravity and floated in the air. By the time she woke up again, her brain power had developed by 20%. But Lucy is unaware of this and is surprisingly calm. That's when the mob boss's man returned. I thought this man would behave himself, but I didn't expect him to be a rotten person. With a single move, Lucy seized the opportunity and knocked him to the ground. She then pulled a belt over the table, grabbed a pistol, and went into the front hall. In an instant, she had killed all the guards on guard. Lucy then went out and found a taxi to the hospital. Lucy rushed into the operating theater, took one look at the patient's brain CT, and then shot her, ending her suffering. Lucy had done all this without a trace of emotion. Yesterday, Lucy was just a young girl. After a night of transformation, her brain is now 20% developed. She is like a machine without feelings. She lies on the operating table and lets the doctors remove the foreign body from her abdomen. No anesthetic was administered throughout the operation. She even used the time to call her mother. Lucy was unsure of what was happening to her body. She can now remember clearly what happened to her when she was less than a year old. She can also feel the gravitational pull of her brain and the earth. She can also feel the energy flow of the trees. After leaving the hospital, Lucy made her way to the hotel first. She quickly finished off the mob boss's men with her pistol. Then she went to the mob boss. Lucy pressed mob boss's head and read his memory. After learning where the other 3 men had gone, she then turned around and left without killing the mob boss. Back at her place, Lucy used her computer to access the information. She had read the professor's life's work in just a few minutes. The professor had spent his life studying brain development courses. His theories had even extrapolated to developing 40% of the brain's capabilities. And what he had written was the same as Lucy's current situation. The professor was resting at the hotel when he received a phone call. Lucy said that she had read all of the professor's research. The professor laughed and was flattered. The professor didn't believe her, but what Lucy did next changed the professor's mind straight away. A woman suddenly appeared on the TV, followed by computers, mobile phones, radios. This is bizarre. Lucy told the professor that the cells in her body were growing by the millions every second. At this rate, she doesn't think she'll survive another day. She's even starting to lose her humanity. Her mind was now full of the knowledge of the universe, and new expertise was always coming out. The professor was speechless. After all, What he knew was only speculation. Lucy's existence would be a new twist on humanity. Lucy said she would meet him in 12 hours. Right now, she had some business to attend to. Yesterday's hospital shooting had put Lucy in the news. Now it's being reported everywhere. Lucy had to change her appearance. She calls the nearby police station and sends Del Rio's computer the details of the 3 dangerous men. Although Del Rio was incredulous, he did as he was told. The arrests went smoothly. The 3 men were caught one by one. By this time Lucy was on the plane. While drinking water, she noticed that her teeth had inexplicably fallen out. Her brain is now at 40%, and her body is beginning to show signs of collapse. Her fingers slowly turn to powder. Lucy's body slowly begins to fade away as her cells dissipate. She panics and runs to the bathroom of the plane. She looked in the mirror and saw herself fading away from her human form. Lucy hurriedly rummaged through her bag, found the remaining half bag of blue rice, and stuffed it all into her mouth. Her body slowly reverted to its original form. Her brain was now at 50%. When she woke up, she found herself in a hospital. There was an extra handcuff on her hand. The nurse saw that she was awake and immediately went to call someone. When Del Rio arrives with his man, he sees Lucy standing in the hospital corridor. He raised his gun and wanted Lucy to put her hands up and surrender. The next moment Lucy put everyone to sleep. Lucy stepped closer to him. Del Rio tried to hold on, but the gun had surrendered. Without further ado, Lucy asked him where the remaining blue rice was. The only way to be safe is to have it in her possession. Del Rio had to take her to the hospital. On the way, Lucy got a message from the mob boss's man. They were also heading to the hospital. At this point, Lucy switched places with Del Rio, and she drove the car. Lucy's driving skills dazzled Del Rio. She was able to anticipate all the routes and get to the hospital as quickly as possible. Luckily, Lucy arrives with Del Rio just in time as the group is leaving. Lucy's brain is now at 60%. They tried to exit through the back door but were blocked by a transparent wall. All their weapons flew up to the ceiling. They tried to fight Lucy physically. Before they could get close to her body, they inexplicably floated upwards. The men could only watch as Lucy took the case from their hands. Del Rio felt Lucy didn't need him. Lucy doesn't think so. She has lost her humanity. Keeping Del Rio around is the only way to keep her human at all times. She doesn't want to hurt human lives anymore, because she had the beginnings of a killing spree. On their way to the professor's lab, Lucy and Del Rio are met by an oncoming mob boss. In revenge, the mob boss led the men after them. Lucy arrives at the professor's lab. The staff questioned her. Lucy had to demonstrate live to dig out his innermost memories that he wanted to forget, and explain to them the meaning of the evolution of life, and the unit of measurement that underpins all things time. Time is fundamental. Just then, the mob boss breaks into the school with his man. Lucy only has a little time left. She decides to gather all the knowledge she has in her head onto a USB stick and give it to the professor. Lucy absorbed all the remaining 3 packets of blue rice. Her body began to change at this point. Her brain development level was raised to 90%. In those few short minutes, Lucy's body kept crossing. She saw the speed of human development to date and the origins of intelligent life. An ape with the same name as her, Lucy. Just as her brain was about to be developed finish, Lucy even saw the nature of the universe. The mob boss breaks into the lab and puts a gun on Lucy's head. As he was about to pull the trigger, Lucy disappeared into thin air, with his revenge still intact. The mob boss goes crazy. He aims his gun at the professor and the others. At that moment, Del Rio arrives and kills the mob boss on the spot. Lucy's body has transformed into a computer. She stored all her knowledge on a USB stick and gave it to the professor. As soon as the professor unplugged the flash drive, Lucy disappeared. Del Rio could not accept this fact. He asked the professor where Lucy had gone. Lucy had disappeared, but the ultimate direction in which she will complete her evolution is to abandon her physical body completely and live forever in the world in full consciousness. The film is over. Subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.